I'm gonna hit Chad.
Wait, before you do so, get these nice, awesome new t-shirts we have in store.
Welcome back to another episode of Scenic Fights, Fight Scenes Breakdown. I'm Logan Lo.
I'm Chad Vázquez.
And today we're breaking down Bob Odenkirk's Nobody. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, I loved it.
It's a good film.
It is an amazing film. Definitely get out there and watch it. It's actually by the same guys that did John Wick. And in my opinion, there are lots of elements in it that I think is even better. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. We're watching the scene where Hutch Mansell, played by Bob Odenkirk, goes onto a bus and gets into a little bit of trouble.
A little bit.
A little bit of trouble.
Somebody called Hutch. Here we go.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, took a punch right in the face. All right, Hutch throws a wild
Miss Close fist, so, we spoke about that. Pins him, claws around the nose.
Boom, Hutch takes a punch right to the back of the head.
Now, what do you think? I mean, those should have knocked him out.
Even if it didn't knock him out, he would have felt that. He's not just acting normally, because your brain is sloshing around in your head like that. I mean, it's an enclosed space. That's affecting him.
Yeah, I agree.
And Hutch is just slamming the assailant against all of these chairs. Bam, right into the pole. Weapon time. Love it. And he leaves it in Hutch. That's not a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Standing arm break. Do you think that this is valid?
I can see that, right? If you see that the attacker, he's stuck right over a seat on the bus,
right,
and Hutch caught his arm just in time and hyperextended on the handlebar. Yeah, no, I can see that happening.
So that's what's different about this scene versus our scene that we did in Captain America. There was nothing holding Bucky.
In that scene, the defender can move.
Right.
In this case, he can.
Right.
So I could see that working very well.
Oh, teep right to the chest.
All right. Yeah,
oh, that's funny.
He felt that one. Okay.
That's funny.
Everyone felt it. Everyone's like a moment.
I like that.
So should we continue this?
I like that. All right. Okay.
Watch action.
Yep. Getting some tools. And, see, that's why you don't leave your weapon in a guy. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is the first time we've seen this. So over and over again, we see in Hollywood, and in fact, we've broken this down in John Wick, The Hunted, Under Siege, where there's a capture by the person, but only the wrist, not the hand or the weapon. Watch what Hutch does. Hutch simply turns and cuts the wrist. When I saw that, I literally cheered because that is exactly what someone would do. Okay, hold on tight to my wrist. Don't allow me to cut you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely cutting you.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm not even trying. So there's no way someone is grabbing my wrist and I have an edged weapon that I'm not cutting out. But let's continue. We see a hammer fist. Chad, I'm going to hit you pretty hard with a hammer fist. You tell me how it feels. I'm going to hit him in his shoulder. I'm going to hit him with a hammer fist. How'd that feel?
Okay, not too crazy.
This fight scene, however, is different. Why?
Watch. Never seen that.
Weapon is involved. I've never seen it either.
Yeah.
What does he do? With his blunt object, starts banging into the side of the head of his assailant. That is amazing. I never once considered using a watch as a blunt object, reinforcing a hammer fist. But that is really phenomenal. Great work by the fight choreographers.
Ooh, okay. Right in the thigh.
Double force right into the thigh. Did he? Oh, Jesus.
He kicked the knife in?
He kicked it right in. This is actually different than the other instances where the weapon is left in the person. Here, Hutch kicked it all the way into the guy's thigh. That guy is not pulling that weapon out. We actually saw this concept of double force in The Hunted with Tommy Lee Jones having his weapon stopped by Benicio del Toro. He just stopped it, and he just continued to hammer it in. Mm-hmm. And then you had said there was no way you could stop that, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because again, forces are additive. He has to stop this force plus this force. Now, not only does Hutch shove it into the guy's leg, he falls backward and kicks it in. So, note that this is also different from all the other scenes, including the scene that we just saw now and the Bourne Identity, where the weapon is left impaled into the person. Here, the assailant cannot extricate the weapon out. Why? Because A, the double force penetrated the weapon in so deeply, and then Hutch reinforced it with another kick, slamming that weapon deep into the person's thigh. That guy is not taking that weapon out. All right, what's Hutch doing?
So he has a knife in his right hand.
Gotcha.
He's gonna cut off seatbelt.
He's wrapping up his hand with it. Run!
Yeah, poor thing.
Yes. She's scarred for life.
Yeah.
All right, so what's he doing with that?
All right, so we have one going knife.
Bam. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. So Hutch is using that so he doesn't get cut. No, nice wrap. Ooh. It's interesting how Hutch is using that seatbelt. He's using it as both a defensive and an offensive weapon combined with the knife. So in this scene, Hutch actually does the reverse of what he did with his watch. He has the edged weapon in his dominant hand and the blunt object in his non-dominant hand. And what is that blunt object? It is actually a seatbelt buckle coupled with parts of the seatbelt itself. Why does he do this? It's because he knows that one of the assailants has an edged weapon. So what does he do? He catches it and safely catches it. Why? Because of the webbing of this seatbelt. But note that because his hand is locking this person's hand, that guy's not letting go of the knife anytime soon, right? I'm not letting go of the knife anytime soon. He's locked in, I can then pull him forward, and with my dominant hand holding an edged weapon in an ice pick grip, I can now attack repeatedly to the chest, finishing that assailant. And I like that he did an ice pick grip because he knew that he was gonna be close. How did he know he was gonna be close? Because he wrapped it around his hand knowing that he needed to catch a knife. So once you catch someone, you're in close quarters. So if you're in close quarters, we talked about this in The Man from Nowhere, you generally want, at close quarters, the ice pick grip. Why? Because I can now generate greater force being this close to the person. Made total sense in universe and here in our universe. Amazing scene. Thought it was great. Here, the assailant comes in, wraps, re-wraps, and then comes in with an attack. Phenomenal. That is exactly what I had said previously in John Wick, right? People that really know what they're doing, they use this ice pick grip to trap. Let's do that again. So he's coming in, he's reaching out, I'm reaching around, and then locks. So Hutch is holding on to the person. Notice, Chad, can you pull out? The more the person pulls out, the more Hutch is cutting him. Phenomenal. They clearly had really good trained fight coordinators do this scene. Another improvised weapon, uses it as a strangle, a bludgeoning tool, and now a strangling tool. Oh, Jesus.
That's that gun.
Now, Hutch is incredibly calm in this. He's like, all right, you got a gun?
Walks away.
I got
That's
a pole.
Yeah.
I got a metal pole. Bam. Oof. That guy's done. Right in the throat. There's no way that guy's getting up. I would say Hutch won this fight.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's fair to say.
Here, Hutch is armed with a metal pipe. He knocks that weapon out. Opening up the body, he goes right to the head, bam, and then he goes right to the throat, bam. I don't know what world Hutch lives in, but in our world, if I'm hitting you with a metal pipe square on the side of your head and right in your throat,
that's a no mas.
That's no mas.
Yeah.
There is no more dude. That dude is a post-mortem dude. That dude's not coming back.
Although in the following scene, he did put a straw in the guy's throat, Hutch.
Okay. To my knowledge, straws do not fix broken craniums.
True.
Straws do not fix brain damage.
This is true.
Straws do not fix crushed tracheas. Straws allow him to breathe. Look, I'm gonna call it. That person is a post person. I have to be honest with you. I really thought this was a better film than John Wick, and I loved John Wick. The fight sequences were clearly done by people that thought long and hard about how weapons and violence actually works. The watch, I never thought about that. To supplement a Hammerfist, phenomenal. The creative use of a seatbelt, never would have thought about it. A seatbelt to use as a tool to protect his hand while capturing an edge weapon, and having an edge weapon himself in his right hand, great. Honestly, I give this scene a solid A. I would have given it an A+ except for the pipe scene. That really bothered me, but only a little bit. It doesn't take away from the greatness of the rest of the video. Now, if you haven't seen our John Wick video, definitely check it out. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.